Dear colleagues, dear guests, and dear participants, on behalf of our ConnectED project team and the organizing committee, it is my greatest pleasure to welcome you to the International Scientific Conference, ConnectED Strategic Partnerships for Global Academic Engagement. We are delighted to bring together representatives of universities, research institutions, public authorities, international organizations, and academic networks from different countries to discuss the future of higher education, research collaboration, and international partnership. Before we begin, I would like to express our deepest gratitude to the Ukrainian defenders who continue to protect Ukrainians' sovereignty, freedom, and future under extraordinary difficult circumstances. Their bravery and sacrifice allow universities to remain open, researchers to continue their work, students to pursue their education, and international academic cooperation to grow despite the challenges of war. We express our profound gratitude and respect for the service, and we honor all those who serve to protect human dignity, freedom, and peace in Ukraine and in Europe. And as a sign of solidarity, I would now like you to invite to join us for a short excerpt of the national anthem of Ukraine.
Згинуть наші вороженьки, як роса в серці затаї. Чаху сожи
Thank you very much. Now, it would be my greatest pleasure and greatest honor to invite Professor Matthias Barth, President of Eberswalde University for Sustainable Development, to deliver the opening address of our conference. Professor Barth, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, and good morning, everyone. Dear Rector Kovalenko, dear Vice Rector Lavny, dear Director Generals Mosolevich and Sharov, dear State Expert Laktionova, dear colleagues from DAAD Ukraine, dear partners across the ConnectED network, dear Ukraine and international colleagues. It is a true honor for me to open this conference today on behalf of Eberswalde University for Sustainable Development. Allow me to begin with a personal note. Each morning, I read the news from Ukraine with a heavy heart, and each morning I am reminded that we follow from a distance is beyond we can truly imagine for those of you who live it. I want to start, therefore, by expressing my deepest solidarity and respect to our Ukrainian colleagues, students and friends, and to everyone whose work continues under conditions that demand extraordinary courage and resilience every single day. It is precisely against this backdrop that today's conference becomes such a meaningful milestone. With ConnectED, we are not only maintaining our strategic German-Ukrainian partnership, we are deliberately expanding it. And it gives me great joy to see how this is unfolding, and in particular, how a platform is being created for young researchers to grow, to connect, and to take ownership of the future, of the network's future. At Eberswalde, our cooperation with Ukrainian universities now spans more than 2 decades. Over the past 4 years alone, we have worked together in a remarkable range of formats. Through the Erasmus Plus project TransLearn for transformational learning and resilience, through our DAAD-funded teaching network for digital transformation of environmental education, and through a sequence of projects on transnational biosphere forests, on socio-ecological forest restoration in times of war, and most recently on nature-based recovery for veterans. More than 50 Ukrainian universities, training specialists in environmental protection and sustainable development, are now involved with us and our colleagues in these joint efforts. Together, we are helping to shape a new generation of professionals who will be able to restore an environment and an economy for the needs of future generations. Each partner contributes thereby something essential, and I do not wish to single out anyone in particular. What matters really is the collective, the dense, growing fabric of cooperation that is now bearing fruit in this very conference. Looking at the program of the coming days, I'm struck by the ambition and the substance of what lies ahead. You will engage, to only name a few highlights, with the third mission of universities, with academic diplomacy in times of geopolitical uncertainty, with the future of university networks and alliances, and with internationalization as a pathway to resilience. These are exactly the questions that universities, Ukrainian, German, European, and global, must address together if our institutions are to be more than observers of change. The signing of the memorandum of the Environmental Doctoral and Research Alliance later today is a powerful expression of this shared ambition. Allow me to acknowledge a few partners whose support makes all this possible. The continued engagement of the Directorate of Higher and Adult Education at the Ministry of Education and Science of Ukraine allows all participants in the collaboration to understand the wider system in which we operate and to share the respective experience meaningfully. The support of DAAD Ukraine has been invaluable to the project and the conference preparation. And I would like to thank the colleagues at Sumy National Agrarian University, at the Ukrainian National Forest University, and across the entire ConnectED consortium for the dedication and care with which this conference has been prepared. To all our Ukrainian colleagues, allow me one closing thought. Through every project I have witnessed, through every workshop we have hosted in Eberswalde, and through every conversation with partners who have over time become friends, I have learned the same lesson. That academic partnership, when it is rooted in trust and reciprocity, is one of the most resilient things we have. It withstands distance, it withstands crisis, and it is, quietly but powerfully, a form of soft power that helps shape a better future. I wish all of you wholeheartedly a productive, inspiring, and truly connecting conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Bars, for your welcoming remarks from Eberswalde University. It is now my pleasure to invite Associate Professor Oleg Sharov to deliver the next welcome address.
Доброго ранку, шановне панство. У нас переклад послідовний чи паралельний?
We don't have a translation, so it would be better if you speak in English.
Давайте ми зробимо переклад послідовний.
Okay, but we
Добре,
need to please stick to the
передав
schedule.
слово своїм колегам. Шановне панство, дозвольте привітати учасників конференції і сказати, що Міністерство освіти і науки України дуже цінує співпрацю, в першу чергу, з екологічної тематики, з країною, яка має, мабуть, найбільший у світі досвід екологічних трансформацій, який є гарним зразком, в тому числі для України, в період, мабуть, вже післявоєнний.
Dear colleagues, I would like to welcome all participants of the conference, especially in the conference on this of the partnership that focuses on important subject areas, in particular ecological subject area. And this is more important for the country that has the vastest experience of ecological transformation in the history, and that experience would be very necessary for Ukraine in post-war recovery.
Так вже сталося з незалежних від нас причин, що сьогодні територія України є значною мірою місцем випробування всіх видів нової зброї і військової техніки.
It happened that the territory of Ukraine is the territory where all new weapons and arms are being tested.
В повоєнний період Україна, напевне, буде місцем найбільш складних, найбільшим викликом завдань екологічних трансформацій. І, можливо, навіть, хоча це не дуже добре говорити, для науковців дуже і дуже з наукової точки зору цікаве, бо буде фактично робити новий погляд на екологію в повоєнній трансформації 21-го століття.
After the war, the Ukraine will face the heaviest ecological transformation, and however sad we can claim that it would be the field for research studies, it could provide a lot of scientific novel information and a polygon for piloting the innovative ecological approaches.
І саме в цьому контексті я вважаю, що спільна робота українських і німецьких екологів, напрацювання дуже важливих практик, протоколів співпраці, запозичення кращого досвіду, який накопичено в Федеративній Республіці Німеччина, в інших країнах Європейського Союзу, є тим необхідним підґрунтям, яке дозволить в максимально стислі строки вирішити екологічні проблеми повоєнної України, які сьогодні можуть навіть здаватися катастрофічними.
That is why I consider that collaboration of researchers and academics from two countries who specialize in ecology, sharing the best practices of Germany and other European Union countries is necessary background that would allow to solve post-war problems, ecological problems of Ukraine, even those that today look as catastrophic.
Я навмисно зробив останній наголос, бо хочу сказати, що ми можемо всі чудово усвідомлювати катастрофічні наслідки війни для екології, але для нас найголовніша задача – це побудова конструктивних шляхів екологічної трансформації, екологічного відновлення, з тим, щоб Україна вже за декілька років після війни вийшла фактично на рівень екології, який є гідним для країн-членів Європейського Союзу. На цьому дякую і буду передавати слово колегам.
I have stressed the last word, the catastrophic, intentionally because today they look, these ecological consequences look as such, but the most important for us is not to just to see and observe how terrible it is, but to find the ways of its changing the status of our ecology, of our nature. Finding these ways in collaboration, so in a way that the condition of our country is comparable and better better than today, comparable to European Union countries. And this is only possible to achieve in collaboration using the experience and knowledge and innovations that already exist and that would be invented after all. That's with this, I would like to welcome you with the conference. Wish you a good success during it and return my word.
Thank you very much for your contribution. We would also like to invite Marina Mruga to deliver her welcome speech.
Dear colleagues, thank you for, I would like to, let's say, congratulate everyone for gathering today. The day today, I would say, is very illustrative of our modern life. We have lived through the almost 7 drones today and almost 70 cruise missile ballistics, and still, and it's covered different cities and countries, and Kiev had been under severe attack today, but still we are all here today trying to discuss the issues caused by war, but let's say, are being devoted to very peaceful things. We are dependent of each other, and we need the mutual help. As today, returning to my examples, we have had a lot of hits because we are missing the anti-missile, let's say, equipment, for which we rely on our Western partners. But without that help, the situation would be much, much, much worse. So we are interdependent, and today's situation, and we can give, we are benefit for both of our sides. And this is the illustration, but it is true for all spheres of our collaboration. And for me, as representative of Higher Education Directorate, is very important that we find some specific instruments of educational collaboration that would allow development of our Ukrainian partners and improvement of the education that we provide. The one of the instrument that we let's say, put our hopes on joint programs, and having that tremendous, very numerous partnership between European and German universities, we hope that new joint programs would strive from that collaboration. You know that the European Commission has passed recently regulations about joint European label programs. So I hope that during this partnership, the first programs appear, and later they would be able to get the degree to prove that this collaboration became something long-standing, not only within research as it originally started, but also in education. So I would happily wish you a good communication and positive developments for the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mruga, for your welcome speech. And for our next welcome address, we would like to invite Professor Igor Kovalenko.
Thank you. Dear participant colleagues, I warmly welcome you all to the opening of this conference. Dear Professor Bars, dear European partners, thank you for your strong solidarity and for your warm words of support. Дорогі колеги, для Сумського національного аграрного університету велика честь бути партнером даної конференції. Університет оновив свою стратегію на наступні 5 років, і в пріоритеті цієї стратегії є забезпечення сталого навколишнього середовища. Переведіть, будь ласка.
So, dear partners, it's an honor for us to be the place for this conference. Our university recovers the new strategies for future, and it's an honor for us to be the place for this conference.
Для університету участь в проєкті ConnectED є не лише можливістю розширення міжнародного партнерства, а й важливим кроком до інтеграції в європейський освітній і дослідницький простір.
For our university, it's not a possibility to expand the opportunity to collaborate with European partners. It's a new, very important step to the future with the European community.
І своєчасне дослідження і реагування на наслідки війни на сьогодні є дуже важливим. На сьогодні ліси в прикордонні, навколишнє середовище надзвичайно страждає від війни.
So our university, the Sumy region, it's a place which border with Russia. It's a very dangerous place with some consequences. Ігор Миколаївич, продовжуйте, будь ласка.
І російськими агресорами знищується велика кількість гектарів лісових масивів.
So it's an impact from the war which influence our forest, our soils and our surroundings,
Також
our environment.
Дрони, які залітають на оптоволокні, їх величезна кількість, і це оптоволокно залишається зараз на деревах.
So the ecological consequences is very severe, in particular with the drone, which leave the optoplastic, and optoplastic live on the soils, on the grounds, on the plants, and it's an ecological problem for the future.
Також вибухами залишається велика кількість важких металів, інших шкідливих речовин у середовищі.
And another ecological consequences, it's soil contamination with the different kinds of pollutants such as heavy metals and such as cadmium, arsenium, and other. And in the future, it's a problem for our environment of Ukraine and Europe to restore the soil from these pollutants.
Це тільки невелика кількість проблем на сьогодні, які створює війна для навколишнього середовища.
It's only the little kind of problems, so it's a little consequences of problems after war impact.
Але я вірю, що результати нашої співпраці дозволять нам вирішити не тільки ці проблеми. Дякую.
I believe that the results of our collaboration will allow us to solve these problems. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Kovalenko, for your contribution. And for our next speech, we would like to continue with our next speaker, Professor Vasyl Lavny. Please,
Thank
the
you.
floor is yours.
Thank you. Dear President Matthias Barth, dear Jan Peter Mundt, dear friends, dear colleagues, on behalf of the administration of the Ukrainian National Forestry University, I would like to sincerely welcome you to the ConnectED International Conference, an initiative that brings together academics, community representatives, youth, and all those who believe in the power of education as a tool for cooperation, development, and mutual understanding. The project aims to overcome language, cultural, and structural barriers through innovative educational approaches, digital tools, and international partnerships. Among more than 70 partner universities, the Ukrainian National Forestry University has the best cooperation with the Bersvalda University of Sustainable Development. Thanks to the Erasmus Plus program, our students and teachers have the opportunity to undergo internships in Bersvalda every year. We also implement joint bilateral projects, in particular with Professor Dr. Peter Spathelfer. We are working together to increase the productivity, quality, and biological sustainability of Ukrainian forests. We have established a number of research and production sample plots in Western Ukraine to train students and employees of forestry enterprises in close to nature silviculture. We have established also more telescopes where we train students and foresters to conserve biodiversity in the forestry. Last year, Eberswalde was visited by the rector of my university, Professor Volodymyr Stepanovich Zagorsky. During the visit, we were the first from Ukraine to join the Global Copernicus Alliance, which includes universities that implement the principles of sustainable development in practice. In recent years, Professor Jan Peter Munte, who also leads our DAAD project, has been actively working with my university and other Ukrainian universities. Today, we have gathered not only to share results and developments. This conference is a space for dialogue, mutual learning, and the formation of new ideas. What is especially valuable is that ConnectED relies on modern educational technologies, intercultural exchange, and active involvement of young people. This allows us to create an environment where knowledge is combined with practical experience, and cooperation becomes the basis for sustainable development of society. I would like to express my gratitude to all partners, organizers, experts, and participants for your dedication to the common cause. Your enthusiasm, professionalism, and willingness to work together demonstrate that even the most difficult challenges can be overcome through partnership, trust, and openness. I wish all participants a fruitful work, interesting discussions, new professional contacts, and inspiration for further joint projects. Thank you very much for your participation, and I wish you a successful and meaningful conference. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Professor Lavny. Thank you to all invited representatives for such inspiring opening remarks and valuable contributions to the beginning of our conference. We would now move to the plenary session, where we will hear the different perspectives on international academic cooperation, strategic partnerships, and the future of higher education. With great pleasure, I would like to invite Professor Jan Peter Mund, project lead of ConnectED, with the presentation From Cooperation to Co-Creation, Rethinking Academic Networks in 21st Century. Give me just a second to share my screen again.
Thank you very much, Mariana. Good morning, everyone. Dobry dan. Good morning, Director General Professor Sharov. Good morning, Professor Hector Kovalenko. Good morning, Vasil Lavny. Thank you very much for your impressive speeches. And also good morning, Matthias Barth, President of our university, for all delivering your impressive welcome and opening speeches. It is my pleasure now to present you some ideas how international university collaboration can move towards new ideas, towards new shores, and working on the interconnected co-creation of new academic networks in the 21st century, as it was mentioned. It's a coincidence that 40 years ago, our former Chancellor, Dr. Kohl, has announced the opening of the environmental ministry for the first time in Germany. And that was in the aftermath of the Chernobyl catastrophe. So it is a coincidence that Ukraine has always been connected to the development of international environmental protection since the German national government and also the environmental ministry of the German government since 40 years is now playing a very important role in the international environmental collaboration and protection. And among this, even though we are financed here by the DAAD via the Foreign Cooperation Ministry and the Foreign Ministry, it is somehow interconnected. And as Rector Kovalenko mentioned, that a lot of environmental issues, environmental pollutions, and environmental threats are not only thriving from the active, ongoing full attack of Russia on the Ukraine, which will then release a lot of environmental impacts in the soils, in the forests, in the environment, not only of the bordering regions of the Ukraine, but also on other regions, mainly in cities, but also infrastructure networks, which are heavily attacked every day, as we receive from our news. So, having said that, I would like to move to my keynote speech. And can I switch? Okay, you can switch the slides. So it is titled "A New Paradigm for Academic Cooperation," and I will approach how the academic context has shifted on the background of these, let's say, 40 years of environmental higher education and cooperation, not only with the Ukraine, but also internationally. What universities can or should become in this interconnected international networking. And if possible, with the timing, I will have some outlooks and ideas and suggestions for our network and also other networks in the future. So the talk will start with what was changing, or how and what is changing in higher education today and why. So when we talk about academic higher education and also collaboration of research institutes, which were always existing since I moved into the academic system a couple of years and decades already ago, I experienced as a young student that there was a lot of collaboration. Even when we had the Cold War period, it was not possible for us directly to move towards east, but we had already lots of connections and interconnections with universities worldwide. And I, as a young student, experienced this myself. And now, having experienced all that, we are facing a new era, and we have to move to new ideas and new structures of academic scientific mentoring, shared knowledge hubs, and academic facilitators. That means we are not longer only the monoliths of higher education, where we convey messages of higher education and inform students about the most recent knowledge and share the most recent academic scientific experiences with the students for the next generation. We are also co-creating together with the policy sector a new society by transforming the existing knowledge, ideas, and scientific academic approaches into a co-creation of higher education research. And we are following what was mentioned by President Barth already, the third mission of the universities, which is transformation. So higher educations nowadays have to be flexible and have to be adaptive, and what they have been always, but also in their education approaches, they cannot stick to the old ideas only. Since AI and digital acceleration has put a lot of challenges and sometimes even personal threats on us, we need shared expertise, because these changes are tremendous. These changes are very fast, and these changes are put on us by also scientific hubs, which are developing the AI and the digital acceleration in many fields. And for example, transformation in the geospatial sector, which is my sector, has ever been challenging for all of us. The institutions which are working with data, we have shared a week ago with Vasil when he was in Eberswalde, experiences of digitalization of the forestry sector in Germany and in the Ukraine, which is still a challenge. And we need this shared expertise to overcome the problems and the institutional threats. Again, mobility and cooperation, nowadays partly disrupted during war situations, during geopolitical uncertainty all over the globe. It is not only that for us, it's at the moment nearly impossible to officially visit the Ukraine and conduct any kind of cooperation and research in the Ukraine directly with our partners in Sumy or Lviv or other universities. It's also at the moment very difficult for Germans to collaborate, for example, with China and some other countries worldwide. So we need other ways of collaboration and mobility. At the same time, there are, in many countries of the Western world at least, there is a demographic shift that puts programs of higher education under threat or under challenges. At the same time, offering international study programs as a network hub for collaboration also allows international students to approach our universities. And I guess that the Ukraine has experienced this before the war situation, but also will experience this again after the war, that international students, not only from the Western world, will also try to approach your universities, our universities, and expect higher education, scientific, most recent programs shaped for the transformation of the world. And this brings me to the societal expectations. So there is high demand for cross-institutional responses. The problems that we share are the problems that you share always. And it was always a pleasure for me learning from the Ukrainian colleagues, especially under the recent situation with lots of security and environmental threats every day, how you cope with these challenges and have developed a very strong resilience. So technology and students, as well as researchers, are already collaborating globally. This has been proven by, for example, in my own experience with the International Forest Information Technology Master Program that we have recently celebrated the 20 years anniversary last year. That is an international program where lots of students from the Ukraine have been participated in as Erasmus guests. And then we are collaborating with the Warsaw University, and we have many international guests from all over the world. At the same time, the labor market, which is a little bit beyond our university network, demands experiences across borders, international experiences, and transdisciplinary skills. So not only one single university program, as I was, for example, mentioning, our FIT program is enough to cover all these challenges and topics alone. So that produces a kind of a need for university programs to collaborate and exchange not only students, not only researchers and educators, it also needs to exchange ideas and develop cross-border opportunities for learning, online learning, kind of different ideas of diverse learning, etc., how it was mentioned by Vasil in his opening speech. So independent universities, and we have learned and listened to a lot of threats, for example, US universities have faced in the last 2 or 3 years since the Trump administration is in place. We have learned from colleagues overseas in the US how they try to withstand threats from the government, shrinking budgets, etc., and that also, for example, supported and encouraged them to collaborate stronger and further with international partners in Europe, for instance. And it was a surprise for us always that, for example, large-scale research centers in the US have tried to secure their knowledge, so their digital knowledge, by just sharing digital data and digital archives with European universities because they are under threat. So the societal changes and challenges are all around us, and that requests us to develop shared knowledge and joint solutions. So not only one university or one professoral sector or one sectoral topic is enough to approach these individual threats. In this case, the idea is that higher education shall shift from isolated institutional work to shared systems, to networks and co-creation with co-solutioning ahead. So universities can play a strategic role in reconstruction. We have seen this in the very impressive presentations of the DAAD network conference last year in November in Berlin, in transformation, in supporting democratic stability, and also can play a soft role in diplomacy. Since universities are institutions which have very often a long tradition, and they play an important role below the very high sensitive political diplomacy. So we have opportunities to spread ideas via such conferences like today, and to work on resilience building for institutions. That means we spread the news, we spread the knowledge, we spread the experience, we spread the common ideas. So in conferences like today and workshops like this week, that then also triggers into our own academic university systems in our home countries, but also across the institutes involved and also across the countries. So universities can play a role as, apart from the higher education, beyond the higher education, they can play a role in becoming soft power actors, shaping alliances through academic cooperation and transformation. They can serve to build resilient infrastructures. They can use institutional skills and knowledge in the situation the Ukraine is facing during the full attack from Russia on the Ukraine, during the war situation right now, and also in the aftermath of the war in the reconstruction phase, which every day already begins in the Ukraine, as we are listening to the news when, for example, drone attacks being immediately rebuilt and restructured by reshaping buildings, infrastructure, and also institutions. So the universities have opportunities to become a backbone for resilient alliances that protect academic freedom and international continuity. That means we are collaborating not only in the situation of solidarity. We have started the collaboration much earlier on scientific topics. We have enlarged the collaboration with personal friendship. And now we are in the situation that we are now institutionally restructuring our collaboration to become co-creation hubs and networks that shape universities. So why this is all happening? Go back one slide. Why this is all happening? The universities face these international crises, but they have been very strong in keeping international dialogue, not only when politicians are supporting that, but also in the phase when politicians are maybe not that much in favor of it. So this is the opportunity of this soft power. And Ukrainian higher education institutes have proven the importance of building resilience across border cooperation. So we have been listening tremendously to very impressive activities of your home universities to build resilience, to reshape your universities, to relocate in cases of attacks, and to continue with online education opportunities and other tools that we are partly supporting in this network to allow young experts, students, and even soldiers which are not actively in the war situation defending Ukraine and Europe at the border to Russia. They have the opportunity to continue studying when they have been, for example, decided to move from their study situation to become a soldier, which is very impressive from my point of view. So finally, transformation, finally for this slide, not finally for the talk, transformation and reconstruction is required, and we are standing ready with our expertise to support you in with these ideas. And for the Ukraine, we have the impression, and we get the backbone from you and the information from you, that universities have become a very strategic anchor for stability in your societal situation. And conferences like today allows us to be a smart but silent way in diplomacy and building resilience. Not only providing higher education, which is then our main topic, but we are talking today about maybe the third mission of the universities. Next slide.
May I also remind you that your time is coming to an end, so...
Yes, I will quickly finish. Our idea is that we move from cooperation to co-creation. We're building a shared future and not only shared activities. So co-creation means we are not only listing partnerships, we are not only listing MOUs, we are really talking about ideas how we can adaptively transform our university system, but also helping to shape and retransform the university system with our partners. Doesn't matter if in Ukraine or elsewhere, but mainly now here in the Ukraine. So we are jointly developing solutions, producing shared innovations, and generating real impact for the institutional changes to be more resilient and future ready. So the last slides probably will be there. So the system must evolve for having long-term solution-driven collaborations. And we are looking on this idea of co-creating, which turns networks into engines of shared capacity. That means we are enabling universities to shape the future collectively rather than individually deliver activities in parallel or uniquely. However, we have to face the general competition of all universities, and everyone who is in the institutional university system knows that there's a lot of competition internationally as well as nationally by the different actors and providers of budgets, etc. And we have to face this, but we are standing strong in this collaboration, that we also have all the time a hopefully very good evaluation when we submit project proposals to our funding partners, etc., which is then an asset if we have this international co-creative collaboration that we are working on here always. Next slide. And with this last slide, I would like to finish my talk. The idea is that we can move from the old model of universities being monoliths of knowledge transmission to which cannot meet today's realities anymore. It doesn't matter where we are on the globe. To the new logic of academic networking. That means we are exchanging the ideas, the experiences that we share. We have already built personal friendships among each other, and this helps us to develop trustful ideas of co-creation, which then shapes the opportunities of higher education and beyond higher education for the students, for the institutions, and also for the academic society and the societal needs in our home countries. And with these words, I would like to close my keynote talk. The slides will be provided, even the solutions that I was promising, but I was already aware that I will not be able to finish this in the short period that I have get provided by the team that is organizing this conference. Thank you very much for listening, and stay in contact, and we will continue collaborating in the next days. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Mund, for your insightful presentation, especially for highlighting the evolving role of academic networks. And thank you for sticking out to schedule as well. We would like to invite our next speaker, Yulia Nikitchenko, the project manager of ConnectED, with her presentation, ConnectED, Rethinking Collaboration in Education and Research. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Mariana, for giving me the speech words, and now I'm trying to understand whether you can see my presentation. Can you help me with this?
Yes, we do see. Your presentation would be nice if you make it full
Bigger.
screen.
Full screen. Okay, maybe you...
Сховати бічну панель, принаймні,
Це
натиснути треба.
Ага, sorry. You never know how it will work, actually. So, yeah, now it works, and I may continue. Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the ConnectED network, I am delighted to welcome all of you to this conference. And for me, it's a great pleasure to see all of you here today, partners, colleagues, educators, and researchers gathered here together. Thank you to all speakers. Thank you, Professor Munt, for your conceptual presentation about the role of universities and potential approaches for the development of networking and collaboration between the universities, both here in Germany and also from Ukraine. My name is Yulia Nikitchenko. I am a project manager of Project ConnectED at Ibisvalde University for Sustainable Development. And today, I would like to introduce you our network ConnectED, explain a bit how it has evolved, and present our vision for collaboration in education and research. I will try to be as short as possible, but my task is to explain you what does it mean, ConnectED, how it works, and what opportunities do we offer to our partners and current partners, already existing partners, and also for the future one who are interested to join our network. ConnectED or ConnectED, you may use both words. There is no any mistake, up to you. Actually, it's a simple combination of two words, connection and education. And this combination reflects the main idea behind of this network and actually behind of the whole project. Our project is also called ConnectED as the name of the network. So don't be confused with this. And similar to the general concept of the networking, in general, we aim to bring people and organizations together. But what differentiates our approach is that we don't see our members as passive attendees of predefined events and activities. We have a great intention to create an ecosystem where everyone from university management to students may become a driver of collaboration by forming new connections, launching their own initiatives or projects, and also uncovering new opportunities for cooperation. Our ambition is not simply to build a network of partners. We want to create conditions that help ideas find the right people inside of our network, and we want to support the development of partnerships that may continue beyond individual or specific projects. Okay, ConnectED as a project and also as a network, we operate in three interconnected areas. The first one, it's about academic networking and community building. Actually, it's what about our network is. The second one, it's about collaborative teaching and research. And the last one, but not least one, it's about institutional development. From the very beginning, environmental protection and nature conservation, these two topics, they were our main focuses. But today, the network promotes the cooperation in different fields and areas. That's why it does not matter what is your expertise or field of interest. You are welcome to join our network despite of this. And today, we cannot find a good solution only inside of one area or one field. We need to provide this synergetic collaboration between experts from different fields with very diverse expertise to address critical social environmental challenges we do face today as a mankind, every country around the world. Okay. When we talk about the networking and building a community, I should mention that the digital teaching network, Ukrainian German digital teaching network, was our starting point in 2022. Thanks to this DTN, it was our first network between German and Ukrainian universities. And thanks to DTN, we could connect Ukrainian and German partners around the topic of digital education. And it helped us, that experience helped us to establish a good foundation for sustainable collaboration through years from 2022 up to now. And ConnectED, it's not a new network. Actually, it's a kind of rebranding of DTN. So we just decided to transform digital teaching network to the ConnectED to make it more broader and to expand potential fields for potential collaboration, and ConnectED is the next step in this evolution. We expanded our focus between individual projects, and we are intended to create a long-term framework under the umbrella of ConnectED for institutional cooperation, networking, and joint development. Actually, DTN helped us to establish collaboration between German and Ukrainian universities, and ConnectED helps us to sustain and expand it further. What started as a cooperation between a small group of committed partners, actually we started with 3 universities only, 2 from Ukraine and 1 here in Germany, Ibeswalde University. It gradually expanded into a network of 33 organizations across both countries. But actually, there is also one partner from Slovak Republic. They also joined our network. And since last 2 years, we have started a very good and fruitful collaboration, applying with joint projects and other initiatives. We will announce about them very soon. And actually, we have 33 partners right now in our network. They move from DTN to the ConnectED network, and each partner actually brings different expertise, priorities, and interests. This diversity is one of our greatest strengths. And thanks to this, we could learn from each other and create more diverse opportunities that would not possible to do on our own. One more direction we are working right now inside of our network, it's about collaborative teaching and research. We try to create educational opportunities for collaboration between partner universities, teaching tandems, co-develop and co-design courses. Together they co-pilot these developed courses for German and Ukrainian students. And I don't want to say that it's something new or very innovative, but for us in our network, it's quite new. It's quite new direction of developing cooperation between educators from Germany and Ukraine, and it looks very promising. Just 1 week ago, we piloted the first course, Close to Nature Silviculture. Professor Vasil Lavny from Ukrainian National Forestry University, together with Professor Shpadgel from the HNI Ibisvalde University, they together co-developed this course and together co-teach, co-pilot it 1 week ago for a group of students and German and Ukrainian students. So we brought together German and Ukrainian students in one class, and it was really good experience for both groups of students, I mean from both countries, and it was quite insightful experience for us with a lot of new knowledge how we can develop further this collaboration in this field. And anyway, Ukraine is going to enter the EU, and we need to be in the context of European educational and research landscape. And this collaborative teaching and also research is one of the steps to test how it works and what we can do together. And what is also nice, and it was very bright example of this collaboration, that both lectures from Ukraine and Germany, from UNFU and the HNI, they brought own expertise, and it was a very interesting example when two different professors from two different educational landscape bring together their knowledge and education, and the course became really interesting and more contentful for students from both countries. Because today, when borders are open for us, and we never know when young experts, young professionals, when they will work later, this experience from both professors from both countries enrich the academic background. Okay, I know that I am limited in time, so I will move to the next slide and say a few words about institutional development. Here, it's also important area of our work. And through workshops, webinars, peer learning activities, we help universities from both countries, we hope that from both countries, to strengthen their internationalization efforts and exchange practical experience. This interaction often lead to new ideas, joint initiatives, and long-term partnerships that also may and should continue beyond individual projects. And we are planning our second networking event in autumn this year in Ibisvalde. And if you would like to join this networking event, you may apply. All information is available in our social media, and I guess after the conference we also will re-update this information, so you may apply. There are still some free slots for participation. If you would like to stay updated about our news, to know what do we offer, please visit our website, connectednetwork.net. There you will find information about our network in general. Also, we post information about different events. And also there you may find information about partners you maybe need to initiate your projects. There is a page, Networking Hub, with 16 for this moment, with 16 posters from Ukrainian and German universities and organizations. And through these posters, you may find the information about the research and educational interests. So it becomes easier for you to find partners, to see who is working in the field of your interest, and maybe to initiate a new project. we do really want to build this ecosystem for interaction, to share the information about partners, to share the information about opportunities, as well as to create opportunities for closer cooperation to strengthen and expand cooperation between partners.
Sorry for interrupting. Could you please wrap up your presentation?
Do I have 1 minute more?
Yes.
Thank you very much. And the last point, but also not least, about membership. If you would like to become a part of our network, we offer 2 types of membership, of individual and organizational. So please visit our website and you may find there the information how to join our network. Actually, to stay updated about our news, please join our social media on Facebook and on LinkedIn, join our pages there. And just to sum up my presentation, I would highlight that this network, ConnectED or ConnectED, up to you, it's not a simple project. We want to build an academic community where everyone can initiate, connect, and collaborate with each other. That's all. Thank you very much for your attention. And actually, it's the name of the project, which is funded by DAAD, and thanks to which we may continue to develop a cooperation between Ukrainian and German universities. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Julia, for presenting the vision of our project, the achievements of the ConnectED project. That was a very insightful information, especially, I think, for newly joined partners and colleagues for our conference. We would now welcome Ms. Oksana Shvaika from the DAAD office in Ukraine to present her presentation, The Research Landscape in Germany and the DAAD Scholarships. Please, Ms. Shvaika, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Can you see my presentation?
Yes, it works perfectly.
Thank you very much. Good morning, dear friends, dear partners, dear participants. Today I would like to talk about German research landscape and about possibilities for Ukrainian researchers. Here you can see the DAAD network in Ukraine. We have information center in Kyiv, and we have lecturers, 12 lecturers, and 2 long-term professorships in big universities in Ukraine. Our information center is at the German Chamber of Commerce, and please visit our page. We give first orientation in Germany. We offer information about study and research, support offers, and we offer consultations online and offline. And we are active in social media, so please join us. When speaking of research in Germany, we are often asked who is doing research. And first of all, there are higher education institutions. They are entitled to confer doctorates. They pursue cutting-edge research at cluster of excellence and universities of excellence. There are around 120 universities. There are technical universities, 20 University of Technology, TU, and 40 technical universities of applied science, TH. There are also universities of applied science. There are more than 200 universities. And you can find them in Hochschulkompass, Higher Education Compass. It's database for German universities. There are also the big four, the non-university research institutions, Helmholtz Association, Max Planck Gesellschaft, Leibniz Association, and Fraunhofer. And they make basic research. Only Fraunhofer is doing applied research. And there are other non-university research institutions. There are 51 federal research institutions, 138 state research institutions, and 11 academies. And information about them you can find at the page Research in Germany. You can choose your goal if you want to do a PhD or a postdoc or advanced research. There are databases. You can find lots of contacts there. And there is booklets, one booklet on this page about German research landscape, and there are lots of interesting informations about research. And now we go to DAAD funding. There are two centers for interdisciplinary Ukrainian studies. They are grounded at the University Regensburg and Viadrina. And they teach, have teaching on Ukrainian-related topics. They organize lots of events, and they have their own scholarships. And funding of DAAD is for individual funding and for project funding. Our information center informs about individual funding. There are scholarships for students, for graduates, for researchers, for doctoral students, and for postdocs. And there are project funding. The DAAD project is, for instance, one of such projects. And our individual scholarships, there are monthly payments, insurance, and there are also additional payments possible. All scholarships you can find at our scholarship database at our page, but there are also scholarships from other organizations there. For instance, Philip Schwarz Initiative from Humboldt Foundation, or MSA for Ukraine. And going back to our scholarships for PhD students and young researchers, there are three kinds of scholarships. First one is research grants in Germany for 3 years with getting your PhD in Germany. There are binational supervised doctoral degrees, so-called co-tutel. This program is for 2 years, and you will get your PhD in Ukraine. And there are short research grants in Germany. During a doctorate, you can apply for maximal 12 months, and in the early postdoc phase, you can apply for 6 months. And for postdocs, there are re-invitation programs for former scholarship holders up to 3 months, and Future Ukraine. It's a quite new program. There are research grants for Ukrainian master students and researchers. Persons should work or be enrolled at Ukrainian universities, and the program offers research stays up to 6 months in Germany. And a very interesting kind of fellowship is the DLR fellowship. It's in the fields of space, aeronautics, energy, transport at the German Aerospace Center. There are 3 levels, and the whole information you can find at their page. The application documents are application form, CV, research plan, or statement of the reasons for applying for a certain fellowship, invitation from professor, list of publications, degree certificates, and language certificate. If you don't have one, you can make a short language test with one of our DAAD lecturers in Ukraine. And we are often asked how to obtain an invitation from German professor. You can find common research interests, reviewing publications, or inquire about existing cooperations programs at your university, or establish personal contacts at conferences and seminars, for example, or by searching for researcher profile online, or participate in online conferences. There are lots of possibilities now. And you could also contact the German Ukrainian Academic Society. They have lots of events and interesting contacts. And now we go to project funding. Project database you can find also at our page. And there are, if your university has a German university partner, your partner could apply for following programs. There are fact-finding missions, East-West dialogue. Very interesting program is Leonard Euler program. It's research for students or researchers, and this program is offered third place, and only 1 month you can go to Germany to your German supervisor. There are also other programs like Eastern Partnership, Transnational Education, University of Applied Science International, German taught degree programs, or Sustainable Development Goals Partnership. And all this information you can find in that database and deadlines also. If you have any questions, I would be happy to answer them.
Thank you, Ms. Schweika, for your presentation. I think it was a very insightful and valuable information about research opportunities and academic mobility programs within the DAAD program. In order to stick to the timetable, I would ask the participants who have any questions to write them down in the group chat, and maybe there you can answer them. Would that be okay? Thank you very much.
Yes. Thank you.
Thanks again for your presentation, Ms. Schweika. And I would like to invite our next speaker, Professor Alexandra Laktionova. And the topic of her presentation is higher education in Ukraine's EU accession process, commitments, progress, and future steps. Please, Professor Laktionova, if you can share your screen.
Hello, everyone, dear colleagues. Allow me, I am a part of the Directorate of Higher Education and Adult Education, and first of all, allow me to warmly welcome all participants of this conference and to express my deepest respect for your contribution to strengthening international academic cooperation, especially in these challenging times. It is an honor to join such a distinguished community of researchers, educators, and university leaders. The topic of my presentation may seem somewhat different from the central focus of today's conference. However, for the Directorate, EU integration has become one of the key areas of work over the last years, and you know that we are at the beginning of the negotiation process of the EU integration of Ukraine. Much of our current agenda is directly linked to Ukraine's EU accession process and the implementation of related reforms in higher education. And in many respects, strategic partnership and international academic cooperation are among the most important tools for achieving these objectives. In fact, one of the key lessons of EU accession process is that Europe integration cannot be achieved by government alone. It requires the active participation of universities, researchers, students, academic networks, and international partners. Strategic partnerships are no longer only instruments of internationalization. They have become an important mechanism for implementing reforms, strengthening institutional capacity, and accelerating integration into the EU or Europe Higher Education Area and the Europe Research Area. Universities have a particularly important role in this process. They educate future professionals and public leaders, generate knowledge and innovation, promote European values, and serve as bridges between Ukraine and the wider Europe academic community. Therefore, higher education institutions are not only beneficiaries of Europe integration, they have also active contributors to Ukraine accession process and important actors in implementing Europe reforms. Against this background, let me briefly outline where Ukraine currently stands and the EU accession process particularly. Ukraine obtained EU candidate status in June 2022. In June 2024, the European Union formally launched accession negotiations with Ukraine, marking the transition from candidate phase to the negotiation phase. Today, Ukraine is at the stage of preparation for the opening of negotiation clusters. This is highly technical but crucial phase during which Ukraine legislation and policies are assessed against the EU acquis. According to the current roadmap, the opening of Cluster 1 fundamentals is expected in June 2026. While the remaining clusters are anticipated to follow during the second half of the year. Therefore, we are moving from the stage of political commitment to a stage of concrete implementation and measurable results. As you know, as accession negotiations are structured into the 6 negotiation clusters and 33 chapters of the EU acquis. For higher education, the most relevant chapters are Chapter 25 on science and research and Chapter 26 on education and culture. However, education-related reforms also contribute to several other chapters, including professional qualifications, digital transformation, statistics, employment, and fundamental rights. One of the important areas concerns Chapter 3, rights of establishment and freedom of provide services, particularly the recognition of professional qualification. You know that, for example, our particular Chapter 25 are about the soft law, where we make the policies, we align our policies with Bologna process and so on. We are in this process from the beginning of the 2000s, for example. As we tell about this Chapter 3, we have particular obligations in the educational sphere for several professions, which will gain in the future from the automatic recognition of our professional qualifications. You know, such regulated professions, they are 7. It's medical, some medical professions, nurses, midwives, and doctors, and pharmaceutical professionals, and architects, and veterinary surgeons. So they will gain in the future, and the employment market, we hope, in the future will be open for automatic recognition. And you, as the universities, will involved in this process, particularly when the Europe Commission will evaluate our preparedness to the how we will align our legislation, our educational legislation, and if our universities assure the quality of this education according to the requirements of the Directive 36 2005. The objective is to ensure compatibility between Ukraine and Europe approaches to regulated profession and professional mobility. To achieve this, Ukraine is working on the adaptation of legislation on regulated professionals, the development of national list of regulated profession and the establishment of recognition procedures aligning with Directive 2005/36. The expected outcome is greater compatibility of qualification systems, increased mobility of professionals, and future mutual recognition arrangement with EU member states. Another important area is Chapter 18 on statistics. It's related to fundamentals, so it's the cluster 1, which is open, which should be open at first, and which will be completed and closed at the end of the negotiation process, like the last one. Reliable and comparable data are fundamental for evidence-based policymaking and for monitoring progress toward Europe standards. Ukraine is implementing the international standards 2013 classification, harmonized educational statistics, and aligning indicators with Eurostat requirements and regulation 452 on education and lifelong learning statistics. These reforms will allow Ukraine to participate more effectively in European education monitoring frameworks and strengthening data-driven governance. The largest concentration of higher education commitment falls under Chapter 26, Education and Culture. The first priority is Ukrainian future associated participant in Erasmus+. Erasmus+ has already played a transformative role for Ukrainian universities, students, and academic staff. Thousands of students, researchers, and academic professionals have benefited from mobility opportunities, capacity building projects, and institutional cooperation. Our objective now is to move toward full associated participation. To achieve this goal, we are assessing readiness, implementing a dedicated preparation roadmap, establishing the institutional framework for the future national agency, and aligning national legislation with program requirements. The expected result is full participation of Ukraine in Erasmus+ as an associated country, providing broader opportunities for students, researchers, and institutions. The second priority concerns quality assurance. Ukraine has made substantial progress in building an independent quality assurance system. However, further integration into the Europe higher education area requires additional steps. This includes an external review of the National Agency for Higher Education Quality Assurance, strengthening cooperation with ENQA and EQUAR, expanding institutional accreditation, and implementing post-accreditation monitoring mechanisms. The ultimate goal is clear, full integration of Ukraine's quality assurance system into the Europe higher education area and alignment with the Europe standards and guidelines for quality assurance. The third priority concerned recognition of qualification and academic values. Ukraine continues to implement Bologna process commitment and strengthen trust in higher education system. Key measures include the ratification of UNESCO Global Convention on the recognition of qualification concerning higher education, the development of new generation of higher education standards, preparation for Bologna process reporting in the 2027 exercises and progress toward automatic recognition of qualification. These measures support academic mobility, improve international recognition of Ukraine's qualifications, and strengthen confidence in our higher education system. Alongside these sector-specific reforms, Ukraine is implementing broader systemic transformation. One other important direction is lifelong learning. The adoption of law of adult education is intended to create comprehensive framework for lifelong learning and support continuous skills development through citizens' lives. Another important direction is digital transformation. The ministry is implementing the strategy for the digital transformation of education, which is now under the development by the ministry. on the last stages, and which aims to modernize educational services, improve data management, and expand digital opportunities for learners and institutions. Equally important are reforms related to governance, transparency, and integrity. This includes strengthening academic integrity, introducing new approaches to funding allocation, and our law on the implementation of new funding model now are preparing on the last stages or preparing for the second reading in Verkhovna Rada. And we invite you support this process because it's under the discussion in the Committee on Education and Science and Innovation in Verkhovna Rada. Another goal is improvement of transparency in the use of public resources, implementing anti-corruption measures, and expanding the network of qualification centers. Taken together, these reforms contribute to a more modern, accountable, and international compatible higher education system. However, legislation and policy documents alone cannot achieve transformation. The success of Europe integration depends on partnership. Projects such as ConnectED demonstrate how international cooperation can support institutional development, strengthen academic networks, and create sustainable links between universities. German-Ukraine cooperation, Erasmus Plus projects, DAAD, Europe in Universities Alliances, and research partnership provide practical mechanisms through which Europe integration becomes a reality and at institutional level. For Ukrainian universities, participation in international network is no longer only an opportunity. It is increasingly becoming a prerequisite for successful integration into the EU educational and research landscape. Allow me to conclude with three key messages. First, higher education is an integral component of Ukrainian's EU accession process and one of the areas where progress is already being translated into concrete reforms and measurable commitments. Second, Ukraine is implementing a comprehensive reform agenda covering quality assurance, recognition of qualifications, statistics, digital transformation, lifelong learning, and governments in line with European standards. Third, international academic partnership remain one of the most effective instruments for supporting these reforms and strengthening Ukrainians' integration into both the Europe higher education area and Europe research area. The European integration of higher education is not only about compliance with EU requirements, it is about creating a stronger, more resilient and internationally connected higher education system that will serve future generation of students, researchers and citizens. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Professor Laktionova, for these important insights into Ukraine's European integration, especially in higher education. And then I would like to proceed with our next speaker, and I would like to invite Professor Teresa Knapp to talk about academic partnerships for global engagement. Please, Professor Knapp, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Dear representatives of the Ministry of Education and Science of Ukraine, dear rectors, vice-rectors, project leaders, colleagues, and distinguished guests, dear members of the ConnectED community, it is a great pleasure and honor for me to welcome you on behalf of the University of Mannheim and the School of Humanities to the International Scientific Conference ConnectED Strategic Partnership for Global Academic Engagement. I'm very pleased that the University of Mannheim can be represented at this important conference. The title of today's event speaks directly to one of the central questions facing universities in Europe and beyond. How can academic partnerships become more than just formal cooperation agreements? How can they become living structures of shared responsibility for society? First of all, I would like to express my sincere thanks to the organizers of this conference, Sumy National Agrarian University, Eberswalde University for Sustainable Development, Ukrainian National Forestry University, the German-Ukrainian University Network, ConnectED for Empowering Education in Environmental Protection and Nature Conservation, the Technical University of Applied Sciences Wildau, the Spectra Center for Excellence EU at Comenius University in Bratislava, the National University of Water and Environmental Engineering in Cherkasy State Technological University. I would also like to express special appreciation to the project leadership of the ConnectED network, in particular to Professor Dr. Jan-Peter Mund, Professor of Geoinformatics Systems and Remote Sensing at the Eberswalde University. His leadership, together with the commitment of the entire ConnectED team, has created an important framework for academic cooperation, institutional development, and sustainable partnership building between German and Ukrainian universities. The thematic structure of this conference shows very clearly why such partnerships matter. The conference sections addressed universities as agents of change, academic diplomacy, global partnerships, internationalization, capacity building, green and digital innovation, and post-war recovery in higher education. These are not separate topics. They are closely connected dimensions of the same challenge: how universities can act responsibly in a world shaped by ecological crisis, technological transformation, geopolitical instability, and social fragmentation. At the University of Mannheim, we understand universities not only as places of research and teaching, but also as institutions with a public and societal mission. Universities create knowledge, and they also create spaces for dialogue. They educate future generations, and they also help society interpret complex realities. They conduct research, but they also build bridges between communities, public institutions, and civil society. This is why the idea of academic partnerships for global engagement is so important. Academic partnerships are long-term infrastructures of cooperation. They allow us to build trust across borders, to share expertise, to support each other in difficult times, and to develop solutions that no single institution could develop alone. The University of Mannheim's international profile is strongly shaped by this understanding. One important example is our participation in Engage EU. Engage EU is an alliance of leading European universities in the fields of economics, business administration, and social sciences, who are committed to addressing the societal challenges of our times. Through Engage EU, the University of Mannheim works with partners across the continent to create new opportunities for students, researchers, and staff. Online exchange formats, joint certificate programs, research initiatives, think tanks, and Erasmus Plus opportunities, they all contribute to a shared European academic space. This is not only about internationalization in the formal sense, it is about preparing our students and researchers to act as responsible European citizens. Another important framework for University of Mannheim's global engagement is the U7+ Alliance of World Universities. The recent U7+ Presidential Summit in Paris took place under the theme, "The Social Role of Universities in a Divided World." Among the participants were our rector, Professor Dr. Thomas Pfetscher, and Vice Rector, Professor Dr. Moritz Fleischmann. The U7+ communiqué presented to the French President Emmanuel Macron called on governments to cooperate more closely with universities in addressing global challenges. This sends a clear message, very much in line with today's conference. Universities are strategic partners for society, democracy, and sustainability. This perspective also connects very directly with the German-Ukrainian academic cooperation. The Deutsche Akademische Auslandsdienst, DAAD, has repeatedly emphasized that cooperation between German and Ukrainian universities is essential for stabilizing the Ukrainian educational system and supporting Ukrainians' European integration. In 2023, the DAAD proposed the creation of a German-Ukrainian Hochschulnetzwerk to build strong links between universities in both countries. In 2024, ahead of the Ukraine Recovery Conference, the DAAD again underlined that university cooperation programs are indispensable for destabilizing Ukrainian education systems and anchoring the country in Europe. The academic dimension is also part of a broader German-Ukrainian strategic partnership. The Ukraine-Germany bilateral cultural season for 2027 to 2028, announced by both governments, shows that cooperation between our countries extends beyond security and economic issues. It also includes culture, societal ties, and education. This broader framework makes academic networks such as the ConnectED even more relevant, because universities are among the key institutions through which such long-term partnerships become real. This is exactly where ConnectED makes an important contribution. It translates these strategic ideas into concrete academic practice. It connects universities around environmental protection, nature conservation, sustainable development, and digital learning. It brings together people who are ready to work across disciplines, national borders, and institutional structures. For the University of Mannheim, this conference is therefore a valuable opportunity. It allows us to be visible in an important international academic dialogue. It also allows us to learn from partners whose experiences of resilience, adaptation, and academic continuity under extremely difficult conditions are of great importance for Europe as a whole. As a university with strong international networks, Mannheim is interested in expanding its partnership landscape. We are ready to continue cooperation with ConnectED and to explore future forms of collaboration where our expertise, networks, and academic communities can contribute. Let me conclude by returning to the central idea of today's conference. Strategic partnerships are not built in one day. They require time, trust, communication, and shared responsibility. But they often begin with moments like this conference, with conversations, mutual interest, with presentations, questions, and with the willingness to imagine future cooperation. On behalf of the University of Mannheim and the School of Humanities, I warmly welcome all participants. I wish you inspiring discussions, productive sessions, new academic contacts, and concrete ideas for future cooperation. May this conference strengthen not only individual projects, but also the broader architecture of German, Ukrainian, and European academic partnership. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Knapp, and for your contribution. And I would agree that partnerships are not built in one day. So it takes, as it said, it takes a village to build a nice and great partnership, a fruitful one. So we are grateful for all of your contributions today. Thank you very much. We will now proceed with our next presentation. We now welcome Professor Alina Nechiporenko. Her presentation focuses on German-Ukrainian joint studies and collaboration in computer science. Please, Professor Nechiporenko, if you can share your screen as well.
Hello, everyone. Just let me share my screen. I hope you can see my screen, yeah? No.
Yes, we cannot hear you very well. Maybe you can speak a bit louder.
And now, probably, just let me know if I should speak louder, probably.
Oh, yeah. Now that's perfect. Okay, yeah, great.
It's okay. So, hello, everyone, and thank you for inviting me. Special thanks to organizers. And so it's a great pleasure to be here and present Technical University of Applied Science Wildau and present our project in the free of
Unfortunately, we can't see your screen now.
So just I'll do it again. I just need to make sure. Mhm. And now it's okay, yeah?
Yes,
So,
yes, we can see it now.
So our project is a frame of German-Ukrainian Deutsch-Ukrainische Hochschul Network initiative. So building modular German-Ukrainian joint study in computer science, in short, Cosmos NT. So between NURE, Harvard National University of Radio Electronics and Technical University of Applied Science, Wildau. And our experience since last year, so we started in July 2026 or 25, and so our experience within the DAAD or DAAD initiative. What we achieved since last year, so just kind of update. Okay, so first of all, I would like to explain you the abbreviation Cosmos NT. So this is computer science modular joint studies between two universities, so NURE in Kharkiv and Technical University of Applied Science Wildau here in Germany. It's supported by DAAD program Zoom, and for our fundament we have F3 computer science series. This is former series 12, and Ukrainian study program that we took as a basis for our first development together with German colleagues at the University of Wildau. And the idea is that we developed new joint study program because it didn't exist before. So we developed something new, German-Ukrainian study program with two minors, automation and AI for life science and medicine. And this gives, of course, us new study opportunities, and first of all for Ukrainian students, and including also refugees that I hear now, and potential German students in future, but only after our study program will be accredited. Yeah, so when we successfully go through accreditation process. And we are going to start this year. So now we are launch advertising company, and so admission company for Ukrainian students in Ukraine and here in Germany. And if we succeed, then we will start online learning with a practical phase in Germany. That this is about last year. When students, the idea is that students come to Wildau to study last 2 semesters, so last year here in Germany, and at the same time to have industrial practice here on IT, at IT companies, the region Brandenburg. And in this term, so we are going to kind of replace brain drain or IT brain drain through IT brain circulation. And on this slide, you can see the general structure, or I would say the difference between Ukrainian and German school systems. And for now, we still have 11 years as for Germany. So in Germany, we have 12 and 13 school years, and this brings kind of gap. Yeah, so German students are ready for 3 years bachelor study, and Ukrainian students, so they need 1 year more. Yeah, that is why you can see this year. We call this year zero, yeah, and the first year or first 2 semesters, Ukrainian students study alone. I mean, without German students, for example, yeah, and in Ukraine, and it can be in presence, but can be also online. Yeah, and in Kharkiv now, so we have only online teaching, unfortunately. Yeah. Then German students join us at the second year. Yeah, and if we have German students, of course. Yeah, and then study program take. So for German students 3 years, and for Ukrainian students now 4 years. Yeah? And in the last year, in the last year, you can see that so this red area below in the table, yeah, that Ukrainian students come to have internship in the IT industry in Germany, and also they prepare their thesis, bachelor thesis here, and some of them probably in IT industry. Yeah, and in principle, we can develop this further for other series. I mean, not only for computer science, because this, the program is modular. Yeah, just take the same principle, but first we should succeed with our pilot project. And now you can see a kind of project line for this first year. So last year we had a kick-off meeting and started very intensively and developed a joint curriculum together with Nure and Wildau team. Yeah, and at the same time we prepared a series of courses for teachers who are participating as a teacher, so as an educator, so professor, docents at Nure in Kharkiv, for our students according, so in the frame of this program. Yeah, and then in March, our joint curriculum and actually our study program. So how to say this is in German? It is called. So our study program has been approved by Academic Council at Nure in Kharkiv, and in April we started our national campaign in advertising, as already mentioned, in Germany and in Ukraine in order to get potential students who are interested in our, so enroll to our program. Yeah, and with this slide, I would like to show you so how complicated this process is. Yeah, so we just combined two curriculums, yeah, the German and Ukrainian one, and here I only show the minor part of Nure curriculum because it's huge, yeah, compared to German, yeah, and also some part of German curriculum. And on the right side, you can see the developed curriculum, and so we try to achieve kind of agreement. For example, in Germany, so at least at Technical University of Applied Science, all of the modules, they have 5 credit points. Yeah, and we try to adjust all of our models also so that they have, so each model, each discipline also has 5 credit points. Yeah, and yeah, then also we integrated additional English models as well as German models for our students. Yeah, and prepared a kind of models with a list of disciplines according to the minor, so AI and automation, and AI for medicine and life science. Yeah, so and they can be changed and replaced, but obligatory models and obligatory part. Yeah, so we already agreed, and so what we are doing now, we started the accreditation process, and so in Ukrainian it's called Освітня програма, but in Germany, so there is no senior program, there is only study program and 2 minors. But in Ukraine, we have also something in between. So we have study program, computer science, and we have освітня програма, applied computer science, and then we have 2 minors, AI and automation, and AI for life science and medicine. So in Ukraine, we have something in between, and this is also a bit challenging to explain accreditation agency here in Germany, so how it works, yeah, but our idea that we go through the accreditation process here in Germany, and then it will be recognized in Ukraine according to the list of accreditation agency approved by ministry, cabinet of ministers. Yeah. So now I would like to tell you a little bit, just briefly, about our augmented virtual reality disciplines that we prepared last semester for teachers in order to give our educators, our teachers, the opportunity to use the AR technologies in teaching, so to make their models more attractive, integrating interactive elements, yeah, and so to the learning process, and students and eager to participate and learn something in this environment. Yeah, so as a result, so we organize a series of models for teachers, as I already mentioned. Then, as a result, our teachers developed 12 models with integrated AVR technology in their disciplines. Of course, to stay up to date with modern artificial intelligence tools and technologies, we didn't forget about AI, yeah, and so main topics like prompting and critical verification, and regularity of working with learning materials, and slides, academic integrity and ethics questions, and assessment redesign, AI literacy, pedagogical use, and so we had 10 participants who were successful integration AI components and elements in their routine preparation for learning materials, and so and of course on our way to Europe Union, I mean Ukraine way, we also organize a series of English lessons for our teachers. Some of them had only B1 level, but so they had chance to improve their knowledge and skills, and some of them so B2 level, and we will continue this according to our project program. Yeah, so this is crucial when you're teaching in AI, in IT field, and in particular for communication with partners from AI and IT industry, and a lot of terminology in English. So English is a gold standard, I would say, for now. What else to mention? So we launched an advertising company, and our website you can see here. So www.cosmos.nt. Then we have started LinkedIn page for our project, and now together with Technical University of Applied Science Wildau, we started with the advertising company, Facebook and Instagram. Yeah, but unfortunately, we still have some challenges, and that we should deal with. And this is about harmonization of admission criteria, and some issues related to people, potential students, who are located outside Ukraine, so how to organize admission with all of the documents and so on. Then, of course, accreditation, but I already mentioned that we are going to have German accreditation that will be recognized in Ukraine. Yeah, and in Ukraine, so for now, there is no opportunity to enroll German students before study program is accredited. Yeah, so first we should go through accreditation, and only afterwards we can think about potential German students, although they a couple of students that would like to join. Yeah? So, but we plan to be successful with accreditation. Then allocation of teaching loads. This is mainly about German professors at Technical University of Applied Science Wildau, because they should teach on voluntary basis. And you know that at Technical University of Applied Science there is high load with 18 SVS, and they should teach them on top. Yeah, so beyond their capacity. Yeah, and this is also a problem. So how to involve them. Yeah, then we should find an industry partner. We had a talk with Tesla and Amazon companies, but there are still many things to manage. Then, so I mentioned this 2 times.
Sorry for interrupting. Could you please move to your concluding remarks in the interest of time?
Yeah, thank you. This
Thank
is
you.
already my conclusion. Yeah.
Okay.
And then German studying in Ukraine, I already mentioned. Yeah. And at the end, I would like to invite you to join our initiative. So related to the 10th anniversary of German-Ukrainian Academic Society. It's called Days of Ukraine in Brandenburg, and it will take place at 8 and 9 October 2026 in Berlin, and also the Technical University of Applied Science Wildau. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Professor Nechiporenko, for sharing with us this successful example of such an academic cooperation and innovation, especially in the computer sciences, in the University of Applied Sciences. I think it was very insightful. We would now like to proceed with our next speaker, Professor Maroš Finka. His presentation addresses the role of quadruple helix model in governance, innovation, and global partnerships. Please, Professor Finka, you can start with your presentation.
Thank you very much. I hope you can follow my presentation on your screens.
Yes, we can see it.
So greetings to everybody. I was asked to say a couple of words on the architecture of global partnership and academic interaction for the innovative process of transformation. Capitalizing my experiences as a former president of the Association of European School of Planning, and on the project we are involved dealing with the innovative cross-border ecosystems or trans-European innovative ecosystems. So first of all, I would say that the problem complex we are challenging.
The slides are not shifting.
Are not shifting?
No.
I don't know. No?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so I will try to share my whole screen. Perhaps it will help.
Yeah, that should help, yeah.
Yes, sorry.
No worries, no worries. We all understand the technical issues.
Share. And again, share. And the screen. Perhaps now it will be better.
If you can make it full screen as well. Yes, perfect.
It's working, yeah?
Yes, now
Yeah?
everything works.
Great.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so the problems complex we are facing independently from the geographic part of Europe, perhaps in some countries, some of the problems are much more pressing, but basically whether it is Ukraine confronted with the aggression from Russia, whether it is Germany, whether it is Slovakia, basically this complex of the challenges is about the interaction and synergies between interdependencies between them. So if this conference is focusing on climate change adaptation, it is not separable from the transition in the energy sector. It is not separable from the geopolitical challenges like hybrid war. It is not separable from the overall problem of resilience of our cities, whether we are speaking just about the critical infrastructure, whether we are speaking about safety and security, terroristic attacks, or the war. We are speaking in overall about the transformation processes. Transformation processes link to the shift from the industrial to post-industrial and a knowledge-based economy, but in the same time, transformation from the classical understanding of urbanization to new urbanization. This means for us that addressing one particular problem, we need to think about the context of these problems and about the synergies between different kinds of innovations we are addressing particular problems. I have spoken about the innovations, and we have to be aware that the knowledge which is derived in the academic sphere, or it is derived more and more in the interactions with the civil society actors, so with the different stakeholders in the process of the co-creation or co-design, is the knowledge which needs to be transferred into the practice in the form of innovation. And for this innovation, just networking of the academia is far away from the optimum. So what we really need is the permanent platform for the interaction between the main actors in the innovation cycle. It means with the academia as the environment in which the knowledge is derived, between the public sector represented in the triple helix with one complex, whether we are speaking about the decision maker, the governance and governmental structures. When we are speaking about the quadruple helix, then in the other corner, we have separated the other actors of civil society, for example, the NGOs, which are playing a very important role in the capacity development, in the knowledge transfer. And of course, the innovation cycle without economic players will be not completed. So we have to speak about this triangle or the square with these players in the corner, because they are representing as well the square which is represented by the demand derivation, capacity development, knowledge development, and potentials to transfer the knowledge into the innovations. So all our problems are then interlinked between these different actors, and we need to find the proper architecture, proper institutionalization of this architecture in order to safeguard that what is in the middle of this architecture, and it is the quality of life. Of course, the economic development creates the basic preconditions for the quality of life, as well all processes of adaptation to climate change, all processes in the societal development. We have different kinds of innovations in our mind, starting with the typical technology innovations via the environmental, up to the social and behavior or institutional innovations. What we need to be aware is the fact that the efficiency of innovations implementations is directly depending on the interaction and joint implementation of the innovations. So technology implementation can be efficient only in the environment which is able to absorb these innovations on the side of economic players, only if this technology innovations is addressing the needs on the side of the public sector, deriving very clearly demand, and only if there are the capacities to proper respond and proper efficient respond to this demand. In many cases, speaking about the recent development and transformation, we have to be aware that smart development is not only about technology innovations, but in many cases, thinking, for example, on the resilience, about alternative innovations to technology innovations, because the technology innovations can increase the dependency of energy resources on outside resources, and with this to cause the lowering the resilience. Speaking about the transnational or international environment for the deriving innovation and safeguarding the optimal functioning of this quadruple helix, we can speak, for example, about the development of transnational innovations hub. In the past, mainly such structures were represented by the clusters, and in many cases, domain clusters. So clusters, for example, in the automotive industry. Slovakia, perhaps you know, is the worldwide largest producer of personal cars per capita with well-developed automotive cluster. But this development, especially on the case of Slovakia, developed very high level of resilience of Slovak economy against the global volatility of the markets, great sensibility against the technology changes, digitalization, robotization, and very high level of dependency of the investment into the human resources. So it means this automotive cluster focusing just on development and transfer of the technology innovations in the pyramid, starting with the top, the knowledge development, up to the lower level, which is about the blood montage of the cars, needs more and more the innovations in the other spheres, for example, in the education, in the research. And this is exactly what we need, and this is exactly for what we need to create international innovations hub. I have spoken about Slovakian automotive cluster, but it is in reality not Slovakian automotive cluster, is the Central European, where on the distance of 200 kilometers, we have the capacity of more than 1.5 million cars per year in Austria, in Hungary, in Poland. So we really need to create such transnational innovation hub. I have spoken several times about the integration. I have spoken about the synergies. So my last slide is focusing on different dimensions of integration, starting with the program-oriented. These are represented by the typical domain clusters, territorial and spatial integration. The territorial proximity for some production is crucial. So the territorial cluster in which the circular economy can be optimized, resource-oriented, hierarchic, and temporal cluster, which can support particular dimensions of integration. I will finish my very brief presentation. I hope it will be available for all of you in the future. Is the idea that the responsibility for the spaces, and we are speaking about creation of territorial architecture of the hubs and cluster and innovative environments, means in reality the responsibility for life, which is positioning us somewhere else than just the managers of these innovative environments. I'm looking forward to fruitful exchange with you in the future. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Professor Finka, for this very valuable perspective on academic collaboration and global partnerships. Thanks a lot from our team. And now I would like to give the floor to Professor Natalia Savina with her presentation also about global academic interaction and strategic partnership in the scientific and educational space. Please, Professor Savina, we can see your presentation now.
Dear colleagues, thank you for your opportunity to present the experience of our university on the technologies of interaction and strategic engagement we have developed, and how our university builds effective cooperation ecosystems at the national and international levels to remain competitive in the modern scientific and educational landscapes. We have a proud 110-year history. Today, NUI brings together 8 research and educational institutes, scientific schools, research centers, and innovation platforms, combining decades of deep scientific experience with modern practical solutions. This slide presents the key forms of collaboration with our 2 primary stakeholders groups, governments, bodies, and industry partners. This interaction allows us to attract vital funding for research and development. Currently, NUI is implementing 55 research projects. And in fact, we boosted R&D funding by 235% between 2020 and 2025. Meeting these KPIs is a testament to the university's operationally efficient. Successful scientific international allow us pass the state certification of research directions, providing additional 18 million in the institutional basic funding. At the same time, we are bridging the gap between educational and business by implementing dual education models, specialty tailored to the needs of both regions and Ukraine. This close collaboration with industry means that our students learn directly on the job to support our region's recovery. Innovation is one of the university's strategic priorities. Our innovation activities focus on 6 different directions presented on the slide. These efforts have precision NUI among Ukrainians leading innovative universities, ranking 24th nationality for inventive activity and patent application in 2025. The success of our international interaction provides a strong foundation of international agreement. Our international internalizations works because it's a synergy team's effort. Our model is based on a simple but strong principle. National partnerships generate research capacity. Research capacity attract international partners. International partners create new opportunities for innovation, education, and funding. And their achievements enforce national development. This cycle of cooperation creates a sustainable university growth and long-term impact. NUI's global footprint is extensive with 192 active partnership agreements in 34 countries. And I hope these events help to extending this global network. The success of our international engagement is best demonstrated by our project activities, with a success rate of about 35%. We are proving the competitiveness of Ukrainian science on the world's strength. This slide provides a detailed summary of our project in portfolio, listing the thematic areas we address under funding programs like Erasmus+, Horizon Europe, Horizon 2020, DAAD, LIFE, etc. On the most successful approaches of international engagement at our university is internationalization at home. We implement courses, virtual exchange programs, visiting professorship, English language initiatives, and international online learning opportunities. These initiatives represent excellent entry points for future cooperation. We are proud members of international research and academic networks. Our strategic partners include Newcastle University, Forward University, pillar of the UK collaborative initiatives, the DAAD networks, the ConnectED initiative, and Solidarity Research Network in Switzerland, etc. By these international partnerships, we are building a globally connected academic ecosystem that promotes excellence in education, research, innovative, and capacity building. In conclusion, I would like to stress that NUI is open to ready for new collaboration. We believe in building a resilient and forward-looking society by global academic science. Thank you for your attention, and we look forward to working with you. Our contact information is provided on this slide, and we would be glad to continue the discussion. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Savina, for sharing your university's experience in building international partnerships and global engagement. And I think all of the information heard today on this topic is very useful and insightful for our participants. Thanks a lot. Our next speaker is Professor Emil Faure, and his presentation highlights the scientific and educational potential for international partnership development. Please, Professor Faure, we can see your screen now, so the floor is yours. We can't hear you yet.
Hello, everyone. Just a second. I will share my screen again. I hope you hear me well.
Yes, we can hear you very well.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I suppose you can see my screen now.
Just a second, it's loading. Yes, perfect. Now we can see it.
That's cool. So, dear colleagues, distinguished conference participants, dear partners, it's a great honor for me to present Cherkasy State Technological University within the framework of the conference ConnectED, Strategic Partnership for Global Academic Engagement. The topic of my presentation is research and educational potential of Cherkasy State Technological University as a tension for international partnership development. The keyword here is tension. Today, I would like to present our university precisely as a supporting institution for the region, for education, for research, for post-war recovery, and for international partnership. Our university is located in Cherkasy, the administrative center of Cherkasy region, the geographical center of Ukraine. Cherkasy is an industrial, economic, cultural, and educational center of the region. The city is located on the bank of the Dnieper River, approximately 3 hours by car from Kyiv, and has a convenient location for academic research and project-based cooperation. This is important for us because our university operates at the intersection of 2 dimensions. On the one hand, the real needs of the region. On the other hand, the national and international opportunities. Cherkasy is a strong historical, cultural, and symbolic context. This region associated with Ukrainian statehood, culture, and civic resilience. Cherkasy is home to the longest dam and engineering structure in Ukraine, the largest Orthodox church in Ukraine, the largest Buddhist temple in Europe. And the history of Cherkasy is connected with Bogdan Khmelnytsky, Taras Shevchenko. Mikhail Sirota, known as the father of the Constitution of Ukraine, served as a vice-rector of our university. Cherkasy State Technological University is the only higher education institution of technological specification in Cherkasy region, and our services are of strategic importance for the region. In the context of wartime and post-war challenges, this importance will only increase. Today, more than 4,000 students study at Cherkasy State Technological University. We offer 42 bachelor's programs, 32 master programs, and 14 doctoral programs. The structure of the university reflects our interdisciplinarity. Our university has 5 faculties and 35 departments. We cover fields such as engineering, information technologies, ecology, construction, transport, economics, management, design, law, social work, humanities. This enables us to form interdisciplinary consortia. This is exactly the approach that Ukraine needs today for its recovery. Now I would like to move on to the research potential of the university. Research has long been an integral part of university's activities, and our research covers engineering, technological, social, humanitarian, and artistic fields. Our researchers have traditionally paid special attention to mechanical engineering. The university has developed a unique combined technology for electroerosion and electrochemical machining. This is an example of how university research does not only exist in an abstract dimension, but also responds to specific engineering needs of industry. Another example of applied developments is technologies for increasing the efficiency of meat processing equipment. These solutions make it possible to increase productivity, reduce energy consumptions, improve equipment durability, and decrease operation costs. Since 2015, Cherkasy State Technological University has been carrying out research and technological work on the digitalization of healthcare institutions in Cherkasy and Cherkasy region. Medical information systems have been implemented in more than 20 medical institutions of the region. This is an example of the university serving as a digital partner for the healthcare system. I would like also to highlight the development of a mobile high-performance ultrasonic surgical instrument for military and civilian medicine. This instrument is intended for use in particular in extreme conditions. The university team of young researchers, MusicMed, became the winner of the first all-Ukrainian competition of biomedical startups. In the field of computer-integrated systems, our researchers have created energy-efficient components for resource-saving technological equipment. These solutions have been implemented at Ukrainian enterprises and in an international context. In the field of energy efficiency, the university has developed a technology for producing heat-accumulating suspensions based on water and paraffin. Such materials can be used in solar-heated systems, construction, agriculture, and for improving the energy efficiency of buildings. Cherkasy State Technological University has developed a number of technology in the field of chemical engineering. These include technologies for intensifying for the combustion process of solid and gaseous fuels, technologies for wastewater treatment and sludge waste processing, as well as the use of small ozonizing systems in the agro-industrial complex. These developments can be considered ready foundations for investment proposals and also for joint research projects. The next area is especially important under current conditions. A team of researchers is working on an automated ultrasonic system for the production of multi-nutrient functional beverages for the rehabilitation and prevention of post-traumatic stress disorders. This project lies at the intersection of food technology, automation, ecology, bioactive substances, and rehabilitation. Another project is related to the development of a mobile ultrasonic complex for producing functional meat products for military personnel. Its purpose is to create nutrition technology that can supply physical recovery, energy balance, and the health of service members. Another project by young researchers focuses on methods and tools for secure information exchange under complicated conditions. Such development may be relevant for remote control systems, data exchange with unmanned systems, operation in noisy channels, and communication under a high probability of transmission errors. But Cherkasy State Technological University is not only about engineering technologies. The university hosts the European Union Information Center in Cherkasy region and the Resource Center for Sustainable Development. Our economic research focuses on sustainable community development, regional markets, the digital and innovative economy, and the assessment of losses of scientific and educational potential caused by the war. The humanitarian field covers issues of national security, social and psychological adaptation of military personnel, free legal support for the population. This is important because Ukraine today needs not only technical recovery, but also humanitarian resilience, legal support, and social adaptation. A stand-alone example is the artistic innovative Volna Nova, launched in 2022. Its purpose is to unite the cultural and educational community, draw the attention to the global community to the war, and support their morale for Ukrainians. This is another proof that a university can be a extension not only for technologies, but also for culture, social cohesion, and international understanding of Ukraine. Cherkasy State Technological University is constantly looking for ways to implement its scientific and educational projects, not only in Ukraine, but also in the international arena. One of example is the Amusing Science project with Technical University of Berlin, implemented within the framework of German Ukrainian youth meetings. Its aim is to popularize science and demonstrate to young people opportunities for professional growth and career development. Another example is cooperation with the University of East London within a pilot project on the evaluation of war-damaged buildings using drones. The project has practical significance. It trains teams to work with drone mapping data, analyze damage, and apply digital tools for recovery. Another area is the Ukrainian-Austrian bilateral project with the University of Graz. It is dedicated to modeling the spread of pollutants in soil environments using these technologies. In the context of the ConnectED conference, this area is particularly relevant since environmental monitoring, environmental protection, ecosystem restoration, and nature conservation technologies are key to Ukraine's post-war recovery. Among our ongoing international educational projects is the Erasmus Plus project Credit for Teach. It's aimed to modernize teacher professional development through MOOC-based courses and micro-credentials. The next project is aimed at bridging the gap between the rapid pace of digital transformation and the level of digital skills among specialists in different fields. This project opens up opportunities for new learning resources, digital platforms, and interdisciplinary training. The Secure project concerns the training of new cybersecurity specialists. It includes courses on security in 5G networks, quantum and post-quantum security, artificial intelligence, and machine learning technologies. Professor Mund has already mentioned shared systems and networks. This project is also about this. Within it, we are creating cross-connected virtual laboratories in different countries. For Cherkasy State Technological University, this is a strategic area, since digital security is part of national and European resilience. The Teddy Mele project is aimed at developing digital media literacy in Ukraine. In the conditions of war, this is not merely an educational topic. It is a matter of information security, countering disinformation, democratic resilience, and society's ability to work critically with information. DAAD projects occupy an extremely important place in our university's international activities. We have participated in initiatives related to ensuring the academic success of Ukrainian universities in times of war and crisis, the development of German-Ukrainian university networks, joint modules. Here, I would like to place special emphasis on the sustainability of these collaborations. For us, international partnership is not a one-time activity and not a formal memorandum. It means joint courses, mobility, research contacts, shared responsibility, and institutional trust. Trust between institutions is not created immediately. It is built through transparency, reliability, regular communications, respect for commitments, and the ability to work together even in difficult circumstances. In this sense, trust is not only a value, but also an infrastructure of partnership. It allows universities to move from cooperation to co-creation, from separate initiatives to sustainable academic networks. I would like to also highlight the German-Ukrainian network related to the digital transformation of environmental education. It is precisely such sustainable partnership that create the foundation for long-term cooperation. So, what areas of cooperation do we see as promising? Of course, academic exchange for students, teachers, researchers, joint conference, forums, roundtables, summer schools, as well as student participation in international scientific events. We're open to joint publishing projects. An important area is joint application for educational, scientific, and research grants. And Cherkasy State Technological University can be a partner in projects related to environmental security, digital transformation, cybersecurity, health instrumentation, energy efficiency, community recovery, academic resilience, human capital development. To conclude, I would like to return to the key idea of my presentation. Cherkasy State Technological University, like all conscious university, has already become a stanchion, a supporting institution for the development of international partnership. Our strength lies in the combination of regional responsibility, educational potential, applied research, experience in international projects, institutional trust, and readiness for new partnerships. Thank you for your attention. Let us move forward together to preserve and develop sustainable partnership. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Farre, for such an inspireful closing words, and also for your presentation and for emphasizing the importance of institutional cooperation. And I hope that all of this information heard today will drive us to build a even better institutional and academic cooperation. We would now like to welcome Professor Artem Pavlichenko with his presentation to introduce the Environmental, Doctoral and Research Alliance. Please, Professor Pavlichenko. We can't hear you yet.
Yeah. Hello. Dear colleagues, the presentation is about the creation of an international alliance of PhD programs in environmental protection technologies. The key idea is to move from a set of separate educational programs to a combined research and educational space that works for one common purpose, the training of a new generation of PhD students capable of solving complex environmental and technological challenges. Today, environmental protection technologies require interdisciplinary thinking, access to modern infrastructure, academic mobility, and stronger cooperation between universities. No single institution can cover the entire spectrum of expertise, equipment, international opportunities alone. Therefore, the consortium is proposed not as formal agreement, but as a practical mechanism for combined academic potential, research infrastructure, scientific schools and international partnership. Its purpose is to strengthen doctoral education, increase the quality of research, and create conditions in which PhD students can develop their ideas between a broader national and European academic environment. Sorry, next slide. Yeah. The slides show the Ukrainian network of postgraduate programs in environmental technologies. There are currently 18 doctoral programs in Ukraine that develop scientific potential in this field. The programs are implemented in different cities of Ukraine, and each university has its own uniqueness in solving current environmental problems, including the challenges associated with war. This is very important as it demonstrates that environmental technologies are already a national educational and scientific directions. Each university has its own strengths, its own staff, laboratories, research traditions, and regional environmental problems. The consortium allows us to turn this diversity into an advantage. Instead of each university working independently and duplicating the same efforts, the network can become an integrated platform where institutions complemented each other and jointly support doctoral training. The specialty has a broad industrial, institutional, and educational base, and can based on very different regional contexts. Industrial regions, transport hubs, coastal areas, urban agglomerations, energy-related areas, and areas for postgraduate students, such a network opens up the opportunity to consider environmental protection technologies not as abstract field, but as a set of real practical problems across the country. For university, this creates a basis for coordination. The consortium can become a mechanism through which these 18 programs remain independent, but at the same time cooperate in teaching, research, management, mobility, and use of infrastructure. This is a transition from parallel existence to organized cooperation. Yeah. On this slide, the programs are grouped into several scientific specialization clusters. This is one of the central ideas of the proposed consortium. The specialty is broad by nature, and it includes different scientific directions, industrial and engineering technologies, environmental monitoring and assessment systems, urban ecological systems, and infrastructure, as well as technogenic safety and risk management. Such cluster approach helps us organize cooperation more logically. It does not force all universities to do the same thing. On the contrary, it recognized that each institution may be stronger in a specific direction. One university may have strong experience in mining and industrial environmental protection. Another may focus on water treatment, transport, urban infrastructure, energy systems, monitoring, or risk management. The consortium, therefore, becomes a structure where specialization is preserved, but access to this specialization becomes open for PhD students from all partners institutions. The European dimension is essential for the proposed consortium. The presentation highlights two examples: Eberswalde University for Sustainable Development and TU Berg Academy Freiberg. These institutions represent areas that are highly relevant for environmental protection technologies, sustainable resources management, biodiversity conservation, sustainable mining, circular economy, and resource management. The environment of European partners is important not only for prestige, but for equality and modernization of doctoral training. It allows Ukrainian PhD programs to align their educational content with European approaches, to develop joint courses, to support academic mobility, and to create opportunities for participation in international projects. In this sense, the consortium should not be understood only as a Ukrainian internal network. It is also a bridge to the European research and educational space, where doctoral students can compare methods, standards, technologies, and scientific cultures. This academic year, 41 PhD students were admitted to specialty across the country. This figure is significant because it shows both the demand for the specialty and the need for a more effective organizational model. In many universities, the number of PhD students is relatively small. For example, some programs may have 1, 2, or 3 new students a year, while others have a larger admissions. In such conditions, it is difficult for every university to form pool groups for highly specialized courses, invite narrow profile experts, and maintain a wide range of elective disciplines every year. The consortium offers a rational response to this situation. By combining students from different universities within shared courses and clusters, we can increase the quality of teaching, make specialized courses viable, and ensure that each PhD student receives access to strong academic content, regardless of the size of their home group. This slide explains the cluster model organization courses in PhD programs. Courses are delivered within scientific clusters, and one university can act as a teaching hub for a specialized course in the area where it has the stronger competence. PhD students from several universities can attend such courses together, primarily through online delivery and academic mobility mechanism. This model does not weaken individual programs. On the contrary, it strengthens them by adding new educational opportunities. Each university contributes what it does best, and all partners university gain access to a broader high-quality educational offer. The following in clusters. The logic is very practical. Each scientific cluster is linked to a preference university and applied courses. For example, the National Transport University can provide expertise in environmental safety technologies for transport systems. Dnipro University of Technology can focus on environmental protection in industry and mining. Vinnytsia National Technical University can contribute to technologies for cleaning industrial gas emissions. At the same time, European partners can also support clusters related to sustainable resource and ecosystem management. Sustainable resources use technologies and environmental restoration. This structure allows doctoral students to study at institutions that have most relevant expertise in a practical topic. It also makes the educational process more meaningful. Courses are no longer just formal components of the curriculum, but become linked to real scientific schools, laboratories, and research priorities of the reference university. Next slide. Importantly, a consortium does not create a single right curriculum for everyone. It creates a menu of high-quality specialized courses. The graduate student, together with academic supervisors, can build an individual educational trajectory that matches the research topic and professional development needs. The next key element is integrated infrastructure. The presentation formulates a very important principles. The PhD students' idea should become the key resource. In practice, this means that access to laboratories, equipment, and experimental facilities should not depend only on the home university of the student. The consortium can create a shared research space where partners' laboratory are more accessible and where doctoral students can conduct experiments in the institution that have the necessary equipment. The open door principle is especially important here. If a student has a scientifically strong idea but does not have the required equipment at their own university, the consortium should help them find the partner laboratory. This also supports the experimental mobility, resource optimization, and alignment with European standards. Instead of duplicating expensive equipment in every institution, universities can coordinate access and use their infrastructure more effectively. To conclude, the proposed consortium is a strategic step toward a stronger, more coordinated, and more internationally oriented system of PhD training in environmental protection technology. Its main value lies in integration of educational courses, scientific specializations, laboratory infrastructure, supervisors, research projects, and international partners. The consortium does not replace existing universities of their PhD programs. It strengthens them by creating a common space where each institution contributes its stronger expertise and receives access to the expertise of others. For PhD students, this means broader educational opportunities, better research conditions, stronger supervising, and real academic mobility. For university, it means more efficient use of resources, high quality of doctoral training, and stronger national and European cooperation. Therefore, the consortium can become a practical model for developing a new generation of researchers who are prepared to personal of environmental, industrial, and technological challenges at the national and international levels. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Professor Pavlichenko, for presenting this important initiative and its vision for future collaboration. I suppose I would also invite Maria Rudat to present the memorandum of the alliance as well, or shall we proceed with that later? I can see Maria Ruda here. Okay, so then I will proceed and maybe Maria will also join us in, okay, good. I can see Maria's screen, but I cannot hear her.
Yes, sorry, some problem with my audio. Sorry for that. First of all, I want to say thank you, Professor Tem, that you introduced our alliance, our consortium, and now I want to present our memorandum, which we create together with with our team, with different participants in different universities. Our memorandum of cooperation, Alliance of Ukrainian University for Research, Environment Protection Technologies, Environment Doctoral Research Alliance. And when Professor Pavlichenko showed his presentation, I share two links. First of all, it's a page where you can find information about our alliance. It's first. And second, who want to add to our alliance, who want to be a partner of our alliance, please, you can find our form. You can give answer, send us, and you can join. So now it's only first step where we present a document and where we all present our idea. But if someone wants to add to us, to our team, welcome. We are open for it. First, we talk about document what exactly we want to say scientific, and then we can do it. So let's start. First, you can see my presentation good?
Yes, but it's not full screen.
Okay, one moment. Better?
No, it hasn't changed, unfortunately.
And now, no?
It's still the same. We can proceed like that, or you can try to share your screen again.
Yes, maybe I try to screen my presentation once again.
We can't see your screen yet. Okay.
Better?
Yes, now it works. Great, thank you.
Whoa, great. Sorry, sorry for that. What the main idea? The purpose of establishing the alliance is to create a common inter-university scientific and education environment aimed at fostering institution research in the field of environmental protection, technology, and developing an effective system for training specialists in the field of environment protection technologies, all the levels of higher education, including doctoral of philosophy PhD program. Concept of our memorandum is purpose of memorandum, general provision, areas of cooperation, obligation of the partner, confidence, term of memorandum, anti-corruption provision, and the final provision. I want to add that in those presentation, we not share all information, only some important points that you can understand what exactly we try to share to significant. General provision. In the process of implementation, the planned joint area of cooperation, the parties shall strive to build their relation on the principle of equality, fair partnership, mutual responsibility, and protection of each other's interest within the framework of the current legislation of Ukraine. University partners of the memorandum. It's not all partners, but some of them who significant today those documents. Dnipro University of Technology, National Transport University, Lviv Polytechnic National University, National Technic University, Kharkiv Polytechnic Institution, National University of Water and Environmental Engineering, Vinnytsia National Technic University, Sumy National Agrarian University, National University Yuri Kondratyuk Poltava Polytechnic. If someone partner are here and not in my slide, sorry for that, but you are a member of our alliance, so it's my mistake if I'm not added someone. So the next area of cooperation to units the scientific, educational, and innovative potential of university for the development of advanced research, the training of a new generation of researchers, and the implementation of innovative technologies in the field of environmental protection through cooperation, open science, and international partnership. Obligation of the partners. The parties undertake to ensure the protection of intellectual property right in the course of cooperation. Confidentially, the parties acknowledge that all information directly or indirectly related in this memorandum, as well as information concerning the activities of each of the parties of the activities of any third party related to the parties, which is not published, available, and which has become known to the parties as a result of the conclusions and or implementation of this memorandum shall be considered confidential information. Term of the memorandum. This memorandum shall remain in force for 5 years from the date of its signing by the parties. In the absence of objections from the partners, the term of this memorandum shall be automatically extended for the same period. Anti-corruption provision. In implementing the provision of this memorandum, the parties affiliate persons, employed, and other person involved having the objective defined by this memorandum. And the final provisions in this event of any disputes between the parties regarding the implementation of application of the provision of this memorandum, the partners shall resolve them through negotiation and consultation between partners. So it's very short information about document which we try to significant today, and and I and my colleagues invite you to join to our alliance and build Ukrainian to build alliance of Ukrainian University of Research in environmental protection technologies. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Maria, for the presentation of the memorandum. And I would like to announce that, dear guests, dear colleagues, we have now reached a significant moment in today's program. And there's a lot have been already said about the memorandum and the alliance. I would also like to add that the signing of the memorandum of cooperation is the result of more than 6 months of dedicated work by an initiative group of partner universities within the ConnectED network. And together they have developed the concept, they have discussed the vision, they have laid the foundation for this long-term cooperation in environmental protection research and doctoral education. Today, these universities become the first official signatories of the alliance, marking this beginning of what we hope will become a strong and sustainable academic network. At the same time, I would like to emphasize, also it was mentioned by Maria, that EDRA is an open initiative, and we warmly welcome other universities and research institutions that share its goals and are interested in joining this collaborative effort. And in fact, you will have such an opportunity also this Friday at 10 a.m. during our roundtable discussion. So mark the date, please. That would be our last day of the conference. Also, that would be this Friday at 10 a.m. And during this meeting, we will provide an opportunity to discuss the alliance in greater details, including its objectives, governance, further activities, and also possible participation mechanisms. So we warmly welcome all interested universities to join this activity in order to discuss future possibilities of becoming part of such an alliance. And now I would like to invite the representatives of 7 founding universities to prepare their copies of the memorandum and proceed with the signing of the memorandum of cooperation, establishing the environmental and doctoral and research alliance. Once we are finished with signing the copies, I would like for all of us to take the screenshots. So please, the representatives of the universities, could you please show us then your copies, signed copies, and we can take a group screenshot to highlight this moment of today's conference. Yes, you can start now. Once we have finished, we will do the screenshots. Maybe some of the other representatives who are not responsible for signing the document would like to share a couple of words, maybe just 1 or 2 sentences about the alliance, just while we're waiting for the representatives to finish the signing of the memorandum. Yes, Jan Peter? You're welcome.
Yes, thank you very much. Very few words. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So I congratulate the 7 founding universities, which are going to sign now today, which is an important moment in the reform structural process in the Ukrainian academic science institutional development. And this is a very, very fortunate situation that this has been taken onwards since more than a year, like Mariana said, in the ConnectED network, and it was supported by the ConnectED network. Such a foundation of this cooperation in the doctoral science education at higher institutions of education in the Ukraine puts you and probably hopefully us in the network in a much stronger position in the long-term cooperation, as well as in the competition with other partners applying for the same funds later in the European Union, as well as from your national authorities and also bilateral authorities. So welcome. And thank you very much for your joint efforts. We really, really appreciate that. And we will take this on to our president at HNE and our PhD school, which is under funding and foundation at the moment with the national state of Brandenburg. So hopefully we can also formally join as an international partner, your network, in a very soon future when we get permission from our Senate and from the president. Thank you very much. And we encourage you to not only sign the document and also participate in long-term substantial collaboration for a vivid future of your PhD doctoral candidates. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Jan Peter, for such nice words. And yeah, it's truly impressive how even such time as 6 months or more could could join people with one idea, with one goal to achieve something like this. And as a ConnectED team, we are really glad to have become a platform for that. And we really hope that this would be a great opportunity also for other participants, for other universities to join and create even bigger consortium, bigger alliance for future collaboration and future academic networking and internalization. If we are ready with all of the signed copies, or do we still need a couple of minutes for that? Maybe someone's pen is not working or something.
Okay, I want to thank a lot our project, because our initiative about Alliance was born during our communicating our project. We will continue work together, and National Transport University and our team, International Transport University, we are happy to work together, and I am sure we will have a good project.
Yes, that's true. I really do hope so as well. So why are we still waiting? Maybe I would also bring to your attention back the 7 founding universities and also highlight again that it's an open initiative, and you will have an opportunity on this Friday at 10 a.m. to join the roundtable and the discussion about joining such an alliance. So to your attention, 7 founding universities of the alliance are the National Transport University, National Technic University of Kyiv Polytechnic Institute, National University of Water Management and Environmental Management, Vinnytsia National Technical University, Sumy National Agrarian University, National University Yuri Kondratyuk Poltava Polytechnic, Lviv Polytechnic National University, and Dnipro University of Technology. Please,
one minute, Entschuldigen, and Forest University, because Professor Lavny at their university some later, and now I'm sure he seen our alliance too.
Yes, and then National Ukrainian Forestry University too. So then 8 founding universities
yes,
of Alliance.
absolutely, 8.
Okay, great, perfect. Would the respective representatives of the founding universities give me a short feedback whether everything is already signed and we are ready to do a very formal screenshot?
Підніміть ваші документи, щоб ми сфоткали.
Okay, great.
Great.
Oh. Okay, I will then do a couple of screenshots. Also, please smile. One. Let's do another one just to be sure that everyone's.
Yeah. Oh.
Yes, and one more. So that we are definitely having something to choose from, you know? Okay, perfect. So maybe there are some other participants who would like to say a couple of words about Alliance. Otherwise, we would proceed with also the ending of the first day of our conference. Are there any final feedbacks from the representatives of the Alliance? Or everyone's already tired and wants to finish already?
I guess it's not about the final remarks, it's about the huge work upcoming for all of us inside of this alliance. So we are keeping our energy and continue to accumulate resources for big projects in future. Thank you very much to all of you for this cooperation. It was quite intensive work since February or even January this year. From the beginning of this year, and we do really believe that we can create together something impressive and meaningful for higher education, both in Ukraine and also in EU. Because when we connect together, when we are connected, this synergy produces better results and higher value for all of us.
Можна додам декілька слів українською для учасників? Can I add some words in Ukrainian? Шановні колеги, можливо, хтось пропустив, Альянс тільки стартанув. Ми дійсно працювали півроку, тому сьогодні ми фіналізували наш результат. Не всі університети сьогодні з нами, але я знаю, що багато колег хочуть доєднатися до нашого альянсу, щоб працювати разом. Марія виклала в чат посилання на Google форму, і ми зможемо в п'ятницю на День довкілля ще раз зібратися для того, щоб колеги, які хочуть приєднатися, змогли приєднатися до нашого альянсу. Але вам потрібно це узгодити з вашою адміністрацією, з вашими ректорами, юристами і проректорами, тому до п'ятниці є ще шанс. Ті, хто хоче приєднатися, будь ласка, лінк в чаті, можете скопіювати, потім спокійно заповнити цю форму. Щиро дякую.
Dear all, I'm happy to announce that we have now approached the ending of day one of our conference. I would like to thank everyone, the presenters and the guests who joined us today on this day. And I truly believe that such initiatives and also such conferences and other events within the networks are a great opportunity to connect, to work together, to find shared ground for future possibilities, future communication, and also academic partnerships. Congratulations to all participating institutions. Congratulations on official signing of the memorandum as well. Thank you to all speakers, guests, partners, and participants for your valuable contributions, for your presence here today. We are truly grateful for that. And also your presentations and discussions have clearly demonstrated this importance that we have to move forward, that we have to work together. The partnerships like this are not built in one day. It was also mentioned earlier today, which is a great opportunity for us. We wish you productive discussions during the next conference sessions on the following days and look forward to continuing our collaboration. The ConnectED team would like to thank you all and wish you a wonderful day. Thank you again.